11 years ago, I made one of the biggest decisions of my life to join the United States Navy. About a year ago, I decided that I was going to walk away from all of that to pursue my dreams. My name is Kennedy, and I'm going to be talking to you guys today about my story, getting in the Navy, quitting the Navy, and discovering who I am outside of it. Growing up, I was always super interested in entertainment, in writing, storytelling in general. I loved acting. I was in plays. I was so interested in the filmmaking process. I wanted to know all the behind the scenes, all the little secrets to how things were made. All of that fascinated me. But I was always told that wasn't a good career to have because there was so much uncertainty that came along with it. I decided to play the safe route, and I let my parents convince me to do something more stable and secure. You always hear that the military is going to be the most secure job. You get paid on the 1st and the 15th. You know what's coming, you know what to expect. You don't have to think about what you wear because they give you a uniform to wear. But I have always felt like I was missing a little piece of myself because I felt like I had to suppress what I really cared about. If people were to ever ask me if I wanted to stay in, I would usually say no immediately because I knew that's not something I was necessarily interested in. I was good at it, but I didn't love it. I wasn't passionate about it. And I would always grapple with the idea of, are we supposed to love our jobs? Or is that like the wrong mindset? Are we supposed to just go to work? Some people would say, well, you know, work is work. That's why it's called work. But I just didn't feel like that's how I wanted my life to be lived. And so when people would ask me like, okay, well, what are your interests? I don't know why I felt so embarrassed to say, but my actual interests are pop culture, movies, television. Those things sound so silly to some people, and I'm just kind of tired of pretending that that's not the things that I know the most about, because those are truly the things I care the most about. And that's okay. That's important for some jobs, is to know a lot about those things. So anyways, how I ended up in the Navy, I did talk about how I made the decision 11 years ago. Mind you, I didn't officially join the Navy until 2019. And the reason is because right after graduating high school in 2015, I knew that I wanted to go to college, and I also knew that I couldn't afford to go to college. So I had to get a little bit creative on how I could make that happen. And I found out about ROTC, thought it was super lame, thought it was really nerdy, and is. I just gave it a shot and realized this is too good of a deal to pass up and not continue to do. Just gotta wake up early a couple days a week, exercise, keep my grades up. I was already gonna do that, wear a uniform, be where I'm supposed to be, do what I'm told. Okay, easy. My college is paid for. If you want to hear more about the ROTC experience, how to get in, I can do another video on that. Today I'm just gonna be talking about how I got into the Navy, and that is how. When I graduated, literally the next day I was commissioned into the Navy. I didn't have to go to a boot camp. I commissioned as a naval flight officer. I immediately was sent to Pensacola, Florida to do flight school. Realized I hate flying, which I feel like was a foreshadowing for the rest of my professional experiences. Realizing that I don't like certain things and being able to say no. So after quitting flight school, I became a supply officer. I went to Rhode Island to get training there. Then I got officially stationed in San Diego, where I'm from, and I was on board a ship, and it was great and it was horrible and all of that at the same time. I'm so grateful for my Navy experience. I don't think I would be where I am without it, and I truly believe that that was not a waste of my time. I needed to do that. I needed to see more life. I needed to see some life that other people don't see. And although I didn't travel around the world like some people expect to, ultimately the Navy did do a lot of things for me, and I met people that I consider family now. I do look back on those days and I really find myself reminiscing and just thinking back like, wow, I had such a good time. The ship is so nostalgic now. But at the end of the day, I'm sure so many people who've been active duty can relate to this, but thinking back to your first command, you think you want to go back there, but if you think about how you felt in that moment, you were probably miserable and counting down the days that you could leave. And not only that, if I could go back to the exact same situation, schedule, crew, everything, I would do it all over again. But that's just not the reality. If I had stayed in the Navy, I truly just don't think that I could have had a better command than that one. And unfortunately, following that command, I actually had like the worst command ever. And it was a truly traumatizing experience. And again, I can get into that in another video. But what I realized I lacked the most from the Navy is, again, the passion. And I'm so grateful that I had such a terrible time at my second command, because I think I needed that dose of reality that not every single place I'm going to work at in the Navy am I going to love, am I going to be obsessed with and so close with all the people here. I'm going to have to deal with some hardship. And you're already dealing with hardship in the military. You're already dealing with not being able to sleep in your own bed every night, not seeing your family, missing birthdays, missing special events, not being able to go and feel like a free young person, giving up your sexiest years to be in a uniform and work dirty jobs. Those are all the things that you do. And on top of so many other sacrifices like deployments, and maybe your romantic relationships are affected by your job. Just so many things to go on. But for me, what made it definitely worth it in the moment was the people I was working with. But then other than that, I felt so deeply that I was missing things that I wanted to do. I felt like I had no time to be passionate about the things that I love. I had no time to watch movies. I had no time to write. I had no time to act. I really wanted to join a theater group at the time. I really wanted to be in a play, but there was just no time, because the time that I had off, I was like, I have to sleep. Like, I won't be able to function if I don't sleep. So that is what kind of did it for me. I was like, I really got to get out of here, because I want to pursue entertainment, really any facet. I didn't know exactly what capacity I wanted to be in entertainment. I didn't know what I was thinking, but I just knew that that's where I wanted to be. So I got the decision in my head. I was already like, I'm getting out, I'm getting out, I'm getting out. I don't care, I'm gonna figure it out. And everyone will try to tell you, just don't do it, this is so safe, it's gonna be so much harder. I had my own direct boss tell me so many stories about, oh, I know this guy who got out and he was so miserable, he wanted to come back and he told me he regretted it. And I can honestly say, guys, I have been officially out of the Navy since September, and I don't regret it, not one single bit, not one tiny little bit of regret is sitting in me right now. Not one little bit. And I don't know, like, I started to do the things that I love to do, and then I just became addicted to doing the things that I want to do, and addicted to saying no to things I don't want to do. Do I want to go to this random networking event for the Navy? No. Do I want to go have an office call with this admiral? No. Do I want to put myself out there and join a theater group? Yes. And I did. And I did. As soon as I started making time for myself, immediately the first thing I did was audition for a play. I got the part. I played Titania in Midsummer Night's Dream with the local theater group in Rhode Island. It was amazing. I loved it. It invigorated the passion that I needed back, right? Like, I realized, along with theater, along with filmmaking, along with just producing in general, I love being part of the team. I love these collaborative endeavors that people decide to go on. And I wanted to keep doing more. So then I joined another play, and then I thought, this was a little bit before then, but I had the idea in my mind. It was like, I think I want to be a producer. I think I want to just make things happen, because I make things happen in the Navy. I can make things happen for movies. I can make things happen for people creatively. And even in the making things happen, I think creatively all the time, even in the Navy. So let me see what this is about. So I looked into a couple of different producing programs, but one that was really close to me was Boston University's MS in television program. And I had thought, like, this is such a long shot, but I seriously only applied to that one program. And I was like, if I get in, I get in. If I don't, whatever, it's not meant for me. And I was really worried. And again, I can do another video about Boston, about grad school, about getting into BU, what it takes, about my essay that I wrote. But I was like, let me try this out. It's television, producing, and management track. I am so interested. And so in March, I got an acceptance to the school. In April, a month later, I was there for Admitted Students Day, and I was like, I have to make this happen. I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen. I have to come here. I have to come here. By that time, I was already slated to do my terminal leave and skill bridge and all that. And I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do to get to this school, but it's gonna happen. This is meant to be. So I find out more about this program, and I hear that there's the big draw to the program is that it's a study abroad situation for the third and last semester, right? And I kept that in the back of my mind because I was like, that's a great opportunity, but I don't know if my husband would be down for that. I know he has a really good job in Rhode Island, so I was like, I don't know what to tell him. But eventually, after so many times of talking about it at school, I was like, I think I have to go to LA. Like, I think the way to make this program the most worth it is I have to go to LA. And everything aligned so perfectly. When I tell you, like, divine timing. First of all, the program started 2 days after I was officially out of the Navy. So that's crazy, right? None of this was planned. It just coming as it, I was taking it as it came, basically. Anyways, I decide I have to just tell my husband that I want to move to LA. I'm from California. I'm from San Diego. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just stay put in Rhode Island, go to school in Boston, rough it out for the first 2 semesters, and then move back to California with my Navy move, and this will all work out. This is exactly how it's supposed to go. And to my surprise, guys, my husband was so down. He was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. We packed up our bags, moved all our stuff from our apartment, downsized a little bit, cross-country road trip, made it to LA for the summertime. And yeah, now we're here and you're all caught up with the story, basically. I am in the midst of figuring things out. And I will say, I am very scared, but I think being comfortable would have been way worse. I would have been way more scared for myself and my future had I not taken the chance. At least I know in September I will be doing something. Our 3rd semester consists of a couple of classes at night, and we have to do an internship, so we get an internship credit for the semester, and then that's that, and I have my master's. I know that will keep me employed and doing something with my time, but in the meantime, it's really just all up to me. And I will say, guys, it is awfully scary. I'm scared, I can't lie. I'm very optimistic. I hope things go well. I have heard so many times that Hollywood is dying, blah, blah. Why did you come here? This is the worst time. Things are looking bad. They're not looking the best, but I have hope. I really do. I see so many indie filmmakers that are making shit happen. And I think that is the whole lesson of it all for me. What I've learned is that you really, if you're not getting opportunities, you just got to make your own. So that's what I've been saying lately. That's what I've been seeing. All that to say is that I'm very excited to be here. I have learned so much in the last 2 semesters from my Boston University program. I'm just blown away at how much I know. I came in feeling like I didn't know shit about shit, and guess what? I did not. But it is a really humbling experience. It's very humbling and it's good and it's really keeping me grounded. While I was in school, I did the most that I could. I decided to work on my first short film as a producer, and I worked in New Hampshire with a lovely director who wrote a short horror film, which is currently in post-production. It's just been a crazy journey to be on set for the first time. I could do another video talking about that. I have to just create my own opportunities, and I've been trying to get at that. My biggest thing is that I just say yes to everything. Every opportunity, every time someone asks me to go somewhere, I say yes. They invite me to meet people, I always say yes. I say yes to coffee, I say yes to dinner, all the things. I know the whole first part of my story was learning to say no about certain things, and I still do say no when it comes to stuff I really don't want to be doing, but long term this is what I want to be doing, so I'm gonna be saying yes. I really don't know what is in store for me and for my future, and what all this is gonna be about and how my life is gonna look in 5 to 10 years, but I really have hope for it. I really do. I would love to hear from anyone who has gotten out of the Navy or the military in general, or even just like a very stable, safe job that people really, you know, have told you, advised against not leaving. I would love to hear if anyone else has been in a similar situation, and I would love to take you guys on my journey, to follow me on this crazy thing we call life. I would love for y'all to see what happens next. I'll do more videos if anyone is interested, like I said, on Navy things, ROTC things, Boston University, the particular grad program I'm in. I would love to talk about all those things, so let me know. Comment down below. Thank you guys for listening to this crazy little story that I had. Yeah, wish me luck.